In this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
Oh, he's very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Well, much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing, in the figure of a lamb, the feat of a lion.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be very much glad of it.
I've already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy.
Did he break out into weeping?
In great measure.
A kind overflow of kindness. How much better it is to weep at joy than to joy at weeping.
I pray you, is Signor Mount Onto returned from the wars or no?
I don't know of that name, lady. There was not such in the war of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin Monsignor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
He set up his bills here in Messina and challenged Cupid at the flight. And my uncle's fool reading challenge subscribed for Cupid and challenged him at the bird bolts. I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much. But he'll be meek with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in his wars.
You had musty fiddle, he hath helped to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And good soldier, too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord. A man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtue.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 weights went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1.
It's possible.
Very easily possible. He wears his faith as the fashion of his hat. It never changes with the next block.
I see, lady. The gentleman is not in your book.
Oh, no. And were I would burn my study. I pray you, who is his companion now? Hath he no young squire now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He's in the company of the right and noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord! He will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he hath got the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friends.
You will not run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro's approached.
Good, Signor Leonardo. You are come to meet your trouble. The fast of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I believe this is your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict, no, for then were you a child.
Oh, you have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. For truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like you as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet to live?
Is it possible Disdain should die when she hath such meat food defeated as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain. If you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat, for it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you accept it. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would also have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood will be him for that. I had rather hear my dog bark and a crow than a man swear he loves me.
Ha! God will keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall escape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratchy could not make it worse, and for such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot
A
teacher.
bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But have your way. In God's name, I am done.
You always end with a jade's trick. You know you would hold.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudius, Signor Benedict, Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay a month, but he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he's no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you will not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I'm not of many words, but I thank you.
Please at your grace lead on.
Your hand, Leonato. We shall go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you ask me as an honest man should for my simple, true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, methinks she's too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can make her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, but being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in scorn. I pray thee tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow, or do you play the flouting jack?
In mine eye, she's the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and were she not possessed with a fury, doth exceed her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn to the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Is't come to this? Hath the world not one man but who will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never live to see a bachelor of 80 again? Thou wouldst needs thrust thy neck into a yoke, and wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro is returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on my allegiance.
Count Claudio, I can be secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so. But on my allegiance, mark you, on my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
If this were so, so were it uttered.
Like the old tale, my lord, it is not so, nor 'twas not so, but God forbid it should be so.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
'Tis well, for the lady is worthy.
You speak this to fetch me, my lord.
By my troth, I spoke my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither see how she should be loved, nor know why she would be worthy, is the opinion fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it, and the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a retreat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me, because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. Therefore I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I will see thee ere I die, look pale with love.
Ha! With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love.
If ever thou dost fall from this grace, it will prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat and shoot at me. And let he that hits me be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
As time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead. Let me be vilely painted in such great letters as they write, here is good horse to hire. Let them signify under my sign, here you shall see Benedict, the married man.
If this should happen, Thou wouldst be horn mad.
Nay, and if Cupid hath not spent all his quiver in Venice, we will quake for this shortly.
I shall look for an earthquake too then.
Do so. Well, we temporize with the hours. Go to Leonado's, commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper. For indeed he hath made great preparations.
I have almost matter enough of me for such a commendation. Therefore I leave you.
To the tuition of God, from my house if I had it.
Ah, the 6th of July, your loving friend Benedict.
Nay, mock not, ere you flout old ends any further. Examine your conscience. And so I leave you.
My liege, your highness may now do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt learn any hard lesson that will do thee good.
Hath Leonardo any son, my lord?
No child but Hero's, she is his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this end in action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye that liked, but had a rougher task at hand than to drive liking in the name of love. But now I've returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to war.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hearer with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and with her father, and thou shalt have her. Was it not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
Oh, sweetly you do minister to love, that no love's grief by his complexion. But lest my liking my too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
What mean the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look, what will serve as fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with a remedy. I know we shall have some revelling tonight. I shall assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero I am Claudio. And into her bosom will I unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner, with the force and full encounter of my amorous tale. Then I will break with her father, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
What's a good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There's no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And once I've heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
Thou art as a sith, thou art goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jest. Eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man in his leisure. Laugh when I am merry, and call no man in his humor.
Yes, but you must not make full show of this until you can do it without controlment. You have of late stood against your brother, and yet newly taken you to his grace, where it is impossible that you take true root, except by the fair weather you make yourself. It is needful to frame the season for your own harvest.
I would rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. It better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this I cannot be called a flattering, honest man. It must not be denied. I am a plain-dealing villain. In the meantime, let me be thus that I am, and seek not to alter.
Yes, but can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it alone. Who comes here? What news brought you here?
I come yonder from a great supper. Prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonardo, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve as any model to build mischief on? And who is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Marry, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio.
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? Who? Which way looks he?
On Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonardo.
Very forward march, chick! How come you to know this?
Being entertained as a perfumer, as I was smoking a musty room, comes me the prince and Claudio, hand in hand, in sad conference. I whipped me behind the heiress, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for his own, and having obtained her, give her to Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food for my displeasure. That young stud has all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist.
Oh, to the death, my lord.
Come, let us to the supper, where the cook of my mind.
We shall wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
You are an excellent man that would make just in the midway between him and me. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, never more tattling.
Then have Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and have Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With money enough in his purse, such a man could win any woman in the world, if he'd get her goodwill.
Oh, by my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way. For it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed he sends none.
Then by being too cursed, God will send you no horns?
Just if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Oh Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face.
Ye may light on a husband that hath no beard.
But what should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me. And he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore, I will even take sixpence in earnest and lead the apes into hell.
Well, go you into hell?
No, but to the gate. And there will the devil meet me like an old cuckold with horns on his head and say, "Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. There's no place for you maids." So, deliver I up my apes and away to St. Peter for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit. And there live we as merry as day is long.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, "Father, as it please you." But for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, "Father, as it please me."
Well, niece, I hope to one day see you fitted with a husband.
No, Uncle Hal, none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there's measure in everything, and so dance out the answer.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, Uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering. Brother, make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing? Say yours for the walk, especially when I walk away.
With me in your company.
I may say so when I please.
And when please you to say so.
When I like your favor, for God to fend the loop should be like the case.
Speak low if you speak loud.
Will you
you not tell me who told you so?
Nor you shall pardon me.
Then will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful, and that I had got my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the crimination is not in his wit, but in his villainy, for he both pleases men and angers them. And then they laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he's in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I shall tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which prevent you not march, will not laugh at, strikes me into melancholy. And then there's a partridge wing saying, the fool will eat their supper that night. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, they lead to any ill, leave them. That's true.
It is true. My brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her father to break with him on it.
That is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are not you, Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you're very near my brother in his love. He's enamored with Hero. I pray you dissuade her from him. She's no equal for his birth. You would play the part of a good man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
And I too. And he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict, to hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in everything save the office and affairs of love. Therefore all hearts that love use their own tongues. And trust no agent, for beauty is a witch against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio,
Yea, the same.
come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow, about your own business, County, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
Pray you leave me.
Oh, you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Ah, alas, poor hurt fowl, now he will creep into sedges. But that my Lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me. The prince's fool? It may be I go under that name because I am married. Yea, but I am not so reputed. It is the base though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the word into her person, and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Signor Benedict, have you seen the Count?
My lord, I played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of the young lady.
In faith, you speak honestly. But the Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her said she is much abused by you.
Oh, she misused me, past the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking that I were myself, that I was the prince's fool, that I was duller than the great Thor. Huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance, I stood like a man in a mark, with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, she would infect to the North Star.
Indeed, here she comes now.
Oh God, sir, will you send me on any errand now to the world's end? I will go on the slightest mission to the Antipodes you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a hair off the great Sham's beard. Do you any embassage to the pygmies rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy? You have no employment for me?
None but to desire your good company here.
Oh God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Married once before, he wanted of me with false dyes. Therefore, your grace may well say, I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil, Count. Civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true. Though if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. If I were but little happy, I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself to you, and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot stop his mouth with a kiss, and let him not speak neither.
Lady, you have a merry heart.
Indeed, my lord, I take it. Poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good lord, for alliance. And thus goes everyone to the world but I. I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry, hey ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's getting. Has your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands, if the maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord. Unless it might have another 14 days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me. And to be merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born at a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord, my mother cried. But then a star danced, and under that was I born.
Niece, will you take a look at those things I told you of?
Oh, why, you mercy, uncle. By your grace's pardon. Cousins, God give you joy.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then. For my daughter has said before that she has often dreamt of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure your tale of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord. If they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time go in crutches till love have all